Hi, this is Mike Peterson from Challenge Island, Oakland County East, back with our Steamtastic Friday. We're in the middle of our cooking series here at Challenge Island, so as we work our way through the STEAM, science, technology, engineering, we've talked about those aspects of cooking, so if you missed those, check out those past videos. Today we're going to tackle one of the fun ones, which is the art of cooking. So there's a lot of possibilities when it comes to combining art and cooking together. So just for example, to show you how powerful this can be, there was a study that was done a couple years ago where some chefs did an experiment. What they did is they made a big bowl of salad basically, and then they plated it. In other words, they put it on a plate in 3 different ways. So in the first type of plate, they just threw it on there, so they didn't bother caring about the art at all. On the second type of plate, they were a little more careful. They applied some of the things we'll talk about in today's lesson. And on the third type of plate, they really got fancy with it. So basically what they did is they picked a modern art painting and then decorated the plates so that the salad looked like that modern art painting. So really fancy art. Then what they did is they showed the plates to different customers and they let them try the salad, and asked them which one they thought tasted the best. The customers actually thought the plates with the art version of the salad on it actually tasted 30% better to them. Now remember, it's the exact same salad. Shouldn't have tasted any different, but just because it looked good made it a lot more interesting for them. The other thing they asked those same customers was, how much would you be willing to pay for those salads? The one that looked like the painting, they're actually willing to pay 3 times as much for that. So not only did art help to make the cooking taste a lot better, but it also made it more valuable to the customers that came into the restaurant. So let's take a look at some concepts of art and see how we can apply those to make our food even more fun to eat. So just a few basic ones here. So first one we'll talk about is color. So just like how we have the color wheel whenever we're making paintings or other kinds of art, we can apply that to food as well. So if you'd like to put some colors together of your food that kind of go together naturally, just seems like it kind of fits, you can pick one chunk of the color wheel and do what we call analogous colors. So colors that are next to each other. So for example, reds, oranges, and yellows kind of go together. Greens, blues, and purples kind of go together. So that'd be one way to do it. If you want to make a plate that's really exciting and really gets your attention, you can do complementary colors where you go on different sides of the wheel. So for example, blue with orange, or yellow with red, that kind of thing. So in here you can see in all these different colors, there's food available in just about every color out there. So you can have a lot of fun with that one. All right, let's move on to the next one. Second concept we'll talk about is balance. So when we talk about balance from an art perspective, what that kind of means is when you look, for example, at a painting, it doesn't look crooked. So in other words, there's interesting things on the left side of the painting as well as the right side, or things up in the sky on a landscape painting as well as things on the ground. Same idea applies to plating, or in other words, how you put the food on the plate. So we can kind of think about that. So if this big area here was our plate, if we put our finger in the middle of the bottom, would it balance? Like, would it fall over on one side or the other? So for example, here, we've got kind of a pretty artsy plate going here. But if you look, there's some stuff on the left, some stuff on the right, some on the top, and some on the bottom. So it's pretty well balanced. It kind of spreads out on the plate pretty well. So that helps to make cooking look better. Then the third one is patterns. So of course, there's a lot of art that involves different kinds of patterns or things repeating as you go through it. We can do the same thing with cooking and with what we put on a plate as well. So for example, a way to have some fun with that is to make what are called shish kebabs. So what we would do is take some wooden sticks and then pick some different kinds of fruit, different kinds of vegetables, things like that. Make a fun pattern out of them. So you can see, for example, here we took some strawberries and banana slices for a bunch of these, put some blueberries on these over here, ended up with some fun patterns. Actually looks like a flag when you're done. So it makes it even more fun to look at the whole plate before you start eating away at it. So those are some of the basic art concepts and how they apply. The last piece we'd like to show you, just a few tips from some of the famous artists around the country, or famous cooks around the country, on some other things they keep in mind when they plate food to make it look really good. So one fun one is what they call creating height on the plates. In other words, stack the food up, see how it looks. So for example here, this is a waffle, but instead of just the waffle sitting on the plate, what they did is they took the different pieces and stacked them on top of each other. So a little more of a, kind of a tower or skyscraper kind of thing. So that makes it a little more fun to look at. So feel free to give that a try sometime. Another one we can do is to be a little careful about what kind of plates we use. So if you have a choice of plates, Most chefs recommend using a white plate, works really good. So what's nice about white is pretty much any color of food you use. For example, you can see some food here, not a huge variety of colors, but because it's on a white plate, stands out a lot better. So you can see and appreciate the color that's in that food there. Where if you use like a blue, red, or yellow plate, if you've got food of that color, it kind of blends in, is a little harder to see, a little harder to appreciate. All right, a couple more. And speaking of the plates, another thing that helps the food to look good is to leave some space on the plate. So pick a plate that's big enough so you can have some space around the edges, have some space in between the food. So especially if you've come up with some fun colors and some fun food to put on there, then you can appreciate a lot more because you can see the difference from one type of food to the other. And then the last one I wanted to share, which is a fun one, is just have fun with decorating it. So a couple ways you can do that. One of the cooking terms for that is what we call garnish. So for example, here you can see we've got an herb of some sort sitting on this meat, so that makes it a little fancier, makes it look a little more natural. You can also pick some fun sauces and put those on. So you want to pick stuff that's edible just in case people eat all the garnish you put on. Or you can really go crazy and have some fun. So for example, over here, if you can see this is an underwater scene that we've created. So I've got strawberries here, kiwi here, dragon fruit here. So we used all different kinds of colors, a lot of the things we talked about, color, balance are all mixed in with this to make a super fun plate. I think any kid would have a lot of fun eating that fruit off of that plate. All right, so next time you're helping mom and dad in the kitchen and want to have a little fun, or if you're into art, but you still need to make dinner, throw them both together. So take a look at the plates, yeah, you can have some fun with it, make the dinner even more exciting. All right, with that, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.